things. When you give up those things, but when you give up your manhood, I've never seen somebody recover from it. That was all the people that went to the puffy parties. That was all the people that did all those things thinking that there was never going to be a consequence for what they were doing. Got punked out and pimped out by some greater desire. You shouldn't have a greater desire than being a man.
Bothering me is that being a celebrity sometimes comes with, like, everybody wants to be successful in a celebrity and stuff like that, but it comes with, you know, bullshit sometimes, and, you know, that's the only thing that I hate about it.
Bryshere Gray has begun addressing the reasons his friendship with Terrence Howard reportedly faded after Empire ended. The narrator claims Terrence was allegedly aware of plans involving unwanted advances toward Bryshere because those alleged approaches were first directed at Terrence, who is said to have rejected them himself. The narration further alleges that Terrence never warned Bryshere about what was supposedly ahead, leaving the younger actor to face the situation on his own. It concludes by arguing that, despite Terrence's public comments about challenging Hollywood's culture, he allegedly failed to protect someone he had previously described as being like a younger brother.
And ran.
I'm watching him, you know, he's with my man Charlie Mack, so Charlie was with me every step of the way. First out the limo, so Charlie has been with me, you know, 30 years coming up in the business. So, you know, he's surrounded by a whole lot of strength. He's surrounded by a whole lot of love, and all he has to do is add discipline, and he's gonna be all right.
Bryshere Gray was let down by many of the people he trusted most, including relatives, figures within the entertainment industry, and individuals he considered close friends. The narrator argues that, from this perspective, he was left without the support he needed during difficult moments. The narration then turns to long-standing allegations involving Sean Diddy Combs before discussing Terrence Howard's public statements. According to Terrence's account, Diddy reached out claiming he wanted acting guidance for an upcoming role. Terrence has said that after meeting with him, he felt the conversation had shifted away from acting, prompting him to leave. He has also stated that he ended further communication and kept any later encounters with Diddy limited to brief, professional interactions at industry events.
Me, for weeks, asking me to come and teach him how to, you know, wanted me to be his acting coach for a while. Go there and he's sitting around just looking. I'm like, okay, what's the material you want to work on? He's just looking at me. Then next thing you know, okay, hey, will you help me? I want to hear your music. So I come over there and I play the music. And he's sitting there, just looking at me, like waiting. Okay. So then my assistant was like, you know, he wants to hang out with you next week. And I was like, for what? He's like, I think he's trying to fuck you. That's what my assistant said. And I was like, oh, okay. Now I get it. So now no more communication.
Terrence Howard has said that at the peak of his Hollywood career, he encountered industry figures who allegedly suggested that accepting inappropriate advances could open doors to acting opportunities. Terrence stated that he consistently refused those alleged propositions, saying he preferred to protect his principles rather than sacrifice them for success, money, or fame. The narration then shifts its focus to Bryshere Gray, who portrayed Terrence's on-screen son in Empire. According to the narrator, Terrence referenced Bryshere while discussing allegations surrounding Sean Diddy Combs and the claimed effects such situations can have on young entertainers. The narrator interprets Terrence's remarks as suggesting Bryshere's experiences reflected the broader concerns he was raising.
What he had to do in order to get to where he was at. There's a lot of things that people do that end up sitting and they can't get over it. And they got to keep getting high, hoping to get it out of their head.
Bryshere Gray has continued speaking publicly about what he says he experienced and, in the narrator's view, is determined to respond to criticism from Terrence Howard rather than remain silent. The narration claims Bryshere entered the entertainment industry at a young age and alleges that his former manager, Charlie Mack, along with his mother, Andrea, helped introduce him to influential people in Hollywood. It further argues that Bryshere was especially vulnerable because he was only 17 when his career began and allegedly lacked a dependable support system to guide him. The narrator contends that these circumstances left Bryshere feeling isolated and made it difficult for him to speak out, fearing he could be labeled as a problem within the industry. The narration also argues that, although Terrence Howard presented himself as a mentor and father figure, offering acting advice and warning Bryshere about some of the pressures young performers face. He ultimately failed to protect him when it mattered most.
Now, this is the thing with Terrence. He doesn't know how to get out of character when we work. So sometimes I go crazy because I'm talking to Lucius, you know? So I may be like getting into the scene even more than I'm hearing Terrence talk to me as Lucius, and I'm like,
After Bryshere Gray was introduced to Sean, Diddy Combs, and Will Smith, Terrence Howard was allegedly aware of the situation and reportedly noticed changes in Bryshere's behavior over time. The narration also refers to statements attributed to Will Smith's former friend, Brother Bilal, who claimed Bryshere sometimes arrived on the Empire set appearing impaired and was difficult for others to work with. According to those claims, Bryshere occasionally reacted angrily toward people around him because he believed some individuals within the industry knew about, or had ignored, what he says had happened to him.
I'm in Chicago. This guy's acting erratic. Crazy. He's getting stopped by the cops. There's male prostitutes involved. There's mental illness involved. There's drug use involved. And I'm really trying to see what happened to this guy. And one day he said, you know what happened. You know that Will R-worded me, or however y'all kind of say it on YouTube. You know that Diddy sexually assaulted me. And you know Charlie Mack made me suck his private part. Right? And I'm like, whoa. This was a full admittance.
Terrence Howard reportedly saw that Bryshere Gray was struggling following the experiences he says he faced in the entertainment industry. The narrator claims that, instead of remaining a steady source of support, Terrence gradually became more distant. It alleges their interactions were eventually limited mostly to the Empire set, and that when Bryshere sought advice or guidance, Terrence was no longer there for him. The narration further argues that Terrence may have avoided publicly backing Bryshere because he feared potential consequences within the entertainment industry, claiming Sean Diddy Combs held considerable influence at the time. According to the narrator, Terrence chose to stay silent while Bryshere continued dealing with his personal challenges. The narration then reviews Bryshere's legal issues following the end of Empire, mentioning his 2020 arrest and his 2021 guilty plea to aggravated assault, which resulted in probation and a brief jail sentence. It also states that Bryshere later created content on adult platforms before recently returning his focus to music. According to the narration, his recent social media posts highlight performances in Kenya and suggest he has been rebuilding his career while remaining distant from Terrence Howard and others the narrator believes let him down. The narration concludes by arguing that Bryshere has not received the same public sympathy shown to some other celebrities facing personal difficulties. It ends by encouraging viewers to share their thoughts in the comments and support the channel by liking and subscribing.